Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Business Hub. This is our social media workshop this morning about getting the basics right. And we've got some experts from Facebook here today to help you. So we've got Feeks and Noel over there. Hope you enjoy the session. We do have a QR code which will pop up again at the end with a little survey which we'd love you to fill out for us. Thank you.
Thanks very much. So good morning, everyone. My name is Fiacra. I'm a client partner in our Facebook travel team. Just a little bit about myself. I'm originally from Ireland, and I've been calling Australia home, and lucky to do that for the last 7 years. And in that time, have had chance to travel across the country and really enjoy the beautiful country we have here. And this year, of course, looking forward to holidaying here this year. And with that, just in terms of travel and what you're seeing, and you're starting to see that travel demand, grow and rebound this year. I think it's really important, and I'm sure you guys are doing that, thinking about how you're going to be able to effectively, connect and engage with your audience as we're starting to rebound. So with that, I would ask you to, upfront here, consider these 4 important questions. First and foremost, now more than ever, really to get you thinking, what's unique about your business today? Also, thinking about who your audience is. Maybe that has changed in this time, certainly since the last 18 months. Think about what are your business objectives, and more importantly, how will online or having an online presence help you achieve these objectives? If you don't have any of the answers today, that's quite all right. So as I take you through some of a couple of tips that we'd like to share, really think about these and keep these top of mind. So when it comes time for you to start thinking about establishing your online presence, you'll be able to really connect in and make sure it really works for you. So with that in mind, would like to share a few top tips to help you better engage now with your Australian traveler audience. And the first tip is around being present and being where people are spending their time. And when we're thinking about this, it seems very obvious, right? Because we all have one of these today. But over the last few years, we've really seen some behavioral change. And mobile is now the remote control of travelers' lives. And we're seeing this day in, day out, where people are turning to their mobile across all stages of the traveler journey. And in a recent study, we found that over 85% of people are turning to the mobile phone throughout the travel planning process. And again, part of that, Facebook and Instagram are playing a strong role here. They are the constant travel companion of this audience. In Australia, over 70% of people are doing different travel-related activities throughout all stages of the traveler journey. So from inspiration and planning and booking, all the way down to sharing experiences with family and friends and different online communities. So really important to make sure that you're there. And how you can be there is around establishing that digital storefront. So essentially making sure that you have your Facebook and Instagram accounts upfront and ready, populated with really important but straightforward business information. So something around your contact details and having relevant business information. And really important today, making sure your opening hours and different information is upfront and available for them to see. Having example here for Global Balloons Australia, where you'll have they have their address, their email, contact details here, and make sure that these are the details that you would like your audiences to reach out to you. So making it very easy for them. Make sure you're updating and sharing any different information about how your business might be changing or going about different things week in, week out. Also within this, I think is really important is around our direct messaging services that you can utilize. So some of the automation that we have around instant replies, where you can connect with audiences with their frequently asked questions. And what this will do is save you a lot of time and sanity in terms of just not having to go back and answer the same questions over and over again. So looking at these points, these are Very straightforward, but really, really important, starting off and building that foundation to make sure that you're setting yourselves up for success and also making sure that you're having a lasting impact with your traveler audience. So once you have your accounts all established and set up, what this will do then is open a world of insights for you in the form of utilizing certain tools like our Page Insights tool here. So what this does is it gives you and provides a lot of information around not only who your audience is, but also how they're engaging with your content and what they're doing. So understanding this and having a better view will allow you then to future plan and really think about how you are going to be building more content and stronger content to engage with this audience. So with this tool, you're able to access this via your mobile phone, desktop, and then also our Page Manager app, which is free to download as well. I'd just like to share a really nice local example around how this company, Global Ballooning Australia, based in Victoria, were able to really bring this to life using these insights. So this company has been around for over 28 years. And what they used were the Page Insights tool to understand what their audience and fans were really loving most about their business, what they were engaging with. And then what they did was experimented in the account. So trying different types of content format, from images to video to different carousel lengths, and then also taking some of their customer reviews and showcasing them as well, and then even repurposing some of their older content to make that quite fresh. All utilizing Page Insights to be able to do that. And when they were getting things right and found they were working really well, they didn't just stop there. They went back into Page Insights tool to make sure they're tweaking and optimizing across their account. This all allowing them to really stand out from the crowd. And just to hear from them directly, the tools available are essential in analyzing performance and your audience. Don't be afraid to try something new. Make sure you keep tweaking until it's right. So this is a great example where it worked for someone local. The second tip we'd like to share is around breaking through with travelers by speaking their language. And what I mean by that is just around how you are going to communicate and effectively communicate with them. So amongst a lot of people here in the room, you probably have a lot of questions around what is the best way to engage with your audience online, and some questions around content you should use, how often you should be posting, and even looking around Facebook and Instagram, wondering, should you be using the same type of thing or message across both platforms? So across all of these questions, they're really, really good questions, but the answer I would give, and what we see as well in our company, is there's no silver bullet. There's no one-size-fits-all across these approaches. Definitely what we would say is make sure that you're in tune in line with your business goals, what your brand is trying to effectively do, and really adopt that test and learn mindset, making sure that you're basing this on the insights, the rich insights that you can access for free on the platform, directly from your audience. But with that, I would like to share a couple of really interesting new formats that we have on the platform that I think can work really well for all of your businesses. And the first one I'd like to share is around Instagram Stories. So Instagram Stories has been the fastest growing format on our platform. We have now over 1 billion stories being shared every single day. And I think why it's so effective as and a unique medium is just the playful nature of it. The way you as a brand are able to utilize this format and really give a behind-the-scenes look to your audience, which is a little bit different from the real polished, curated content that you may have on your feed. And audiences love that. They get a real insight into your brand personality. It's also interactive, so you can utilize some of the tools that we have on this format. So some of the stickers, the polling features, and more, as well as the AR features as well. So really, changing things up and having a different view with this format. And also it's vertical. So it's exactly, taking full advantage of full real estate of the phone and being in the format how people are holding their phones. So really great here. And I have an example of Discovery Parks, just how they've been utilizing that. The next format is around using Facebook Live. So Facebook Live is a great format to use. It's certainly in terms of, we've been going through some practicing physical distancing, and we haven't been able to travel as far and as frequently as we would have liked. So using live streaming really allows you to make that personal connection with your audience. And what's more, in real time as well, allowing your audience then to engage with you, to provide, ask different questions, provide comments and reactions to some of the content that you're using. So, as a format, it can really create an authentic connection with your audience. But I would definitely put out the notice around, how to use it. Make sure that you are thinking about your business objectives and what your brand is trying to achieve instead of just going ahead and using it. So that's definitely, something to take note of. And an example, again, I'd like to share around utilizing live is from our friends here at Splitters Farm. So Carly Clark is from Queensland, and she started Splitters Farm back in 2017. And this was around really building a sanctuary for over 300 rescued animals and farm animals who had been neglected. And what she did was, using the fundraising tools in Live, was successfully able to raise over $10,000 for much needed animal feed and different veterinary costs that they had run. But not only that, she was then able to utilize Live for something else. So they would have, which was really, really cool. So they would have done tours on the farm, obviously pre-COVID, and obviously with people being on lockdown and not being able to travel as easily. They were definitely then able to use Live to then run virtual tours for daycares and parents practicing homeschooling. So really, really effective at building that educational platform for their audience. And just to call out, she was talking about how they adapted their business model from face-to-face guided tours to educational platform providing tours on the farm. So great stuff there. And then lastly, I'd just like to leave you with the final tip, which is around increasing your discoverability. So you can use this particularly on Instagram, looking at location tags, app mentions, and then hashtags as well. And so sticking with hashtags, just one thing I'd like to say about hashtags, they can be really, really useful, but just making sure that you're using consistent use of them. You can tap into new communities of your interest with hashtags, or even create communities for your own brand and your business. People ask, what is the right amount of hashtags you should be using? And there is no correct number of hashtags you should use, but in general, we would recommend around 3 to 5 hashtags, I think, can work quite well per post. And just a nice example I'd like to call out from Tourism Australia, how they're utilizing hashtags. A good example we can see here for hashtag See Australia, and most recently, hashtag Holiday Here This Year. And then also, with increasing your discoverability, make sharing easy. Make it easy for your audience to find you and connect with your brand. So what I would say is, for online, making sure that you are linking your Facebook and Instagram accounts to your website, having your social accounts on your email signature or on your monthly newsletter. For offline then, making sure that you have clear signage around what you're using, if it's in a bricks and mortar shop or store, or even on any of your ticketing or packaging. So making sure it's really clear for your audiences to see. And then also finally, creating visual moments. So I said up front around, thinking about what's unique to your business now today. And I think, again, building on that, making sure that you're able to have an opportunity for your audience to create their visual moment and maybe create that online as well. And just to close with, I think my favorite example that I'd just like to share around creating visual moments from our friends at Sierra Escape in Mudgee. So they in New South Wales, created in 2014, and what their business is an award-winning glamping experience business. And they had one of their tents in this story, which is really quite an interesting one, where they had a bathtub outside on the deck. And what they found was this particular tent was getting booked out over and over again. And until they went on Instagram and discovered that actually there was a lot of pictures of this one particular tent. And this was being posted by different influencers and travelers across. So really a light bulb kind of went off in their mind there. And so what they decided to do was get more bathtubs and put it out across all of their tents. And all of a sudden, the bookings really started to grow. And now they've actually plans to increase that even more. So really, really interesting from that side how, one bathtub has really changed the direction of their business, how they were going. And just to call out and to hear exactly from them, the response we got from Facebook and especially Instagram to some of our early photography really shaped how we grew the business. Our first pictures of our outdoor bathtub on the deck and one of the tents created such demand that we decided to add outdoor bathtubs to all our tents. So really something that they hadn't planned for, and all of a sudden started to build out their business based on the interaction and engagement from their audiences. So just to close and recap what we think are really important and some of the takeaways again, making sure that you're being present where people are spending their time, which is on mobile and on Facebook and Instagram. Creatively communicate with your audience. So trying out different formats on platform and different messaging. But really the main thing is around having that test and learn mindset and making sure you're building on that based on the insights that you're able to get access to. And then finally, make sharing easy. Make it easy for your audiences to find you and share all the great things about your business today. I'll also like to just add a couple of resources that we have that are really, really useful. So these are free that you can take full advantage of. Our Facebook Help Center, where you can go through the A to Z of all the different troubleshooting to building your brand online. Our Facebook Blueprint, which is a self-paced online training tool where you can go through all different marketing topics that we have to cover. And then finally, our Facebook and Instagram business pages as well. Really, really useful resources. Oh, no problem. There we go. Oh. We can share as well after, but thanks, no problem. Well, that's great to see, getting full use already. And lastly, this is another great one as well. So on the Facebook app, where you can tap in now to the Facebook travel group. So this is where different industry brands come together and collectively share different insights, challenges, and really network with the business. So just find that on the platform, and then you can join that as well. And then with that, I'd like to invite Noelle to join me for some Q&A.
The hard
I'll bring these up.
Cool. Thanks so much, Vix. That was really helpful. I hope everyone found it useful. So we have some time for some questions. Does anyone have anything to ask the guys while they're here? No questions? Question from you?
Thank you. Sorry, I'm very vocal up here. Just thinking, I know a lot of tourism operators I talk to are quite time poor because they're a jack of all trades that are managing every aspect of their business. So if they wanted to focus, for example, on just one platform where their target audience spends a lot of time, I wondered if Facebook or Instagram had some resources where people could go and find out more information about, the demographics of the highest users of a certain platform, so they could ensure that they're using their time wisely?
Absolutely. So on platform, if you were, we've got audience insights where you can tap in to see, who are utilizing the platform. But I think in general, depending on what you're trying to do, if you're looking to, reach a wide audience or a small audience, we have a lot of tools that built-in automation, so really save you time. So going from targeting Instagram or Facebook, or even utilizing some of the creative assets we have, we can really scale that down for you. So it should be no problem at all.
Yeah. And also now, I believe it was actually when we started doing Facebook and then Instagram. I think Instagram was lacking a little bit those insights, and things like audience insights were basically super focused only on Facebook. So it was difficult to get those insights out of Instagram as well. But I think there's a few resources coming into place now that they actually will help you to actually split the insights for both platforms and make sure that obviously how you performing across both, rather than just getting an aggregated number that sometimes is a little bit confusing in terms of which platform is working better for me. So even on your phone, it's very, very easy. If you go to your business handle, just to find out the insights that you're getting out of your Instagram activity as well.
Yeah.
That's great. And when we talk about those insights and doing the testing and learning to figure out things like how many times you should be posting per day and whether your audience likes videos or images better, when we're looking at those insights, like what is best practice around, what you should be paying the most attention to? I know a lot of us are automatically drawn to how many likes we got on a piece of content, but what would you say is the best measure to look at?
Yeah. To me, it will come down to what is the main goal that you might have. So let's say that, for example, you have like something that you want to be promoting and you want to create that brand awareness. Like in that case, if you're promoting anything, whether it's paid or organically, and you're looking for that awareness, like obviously the likes, the comments, and shares are going to be like the main metrics that you should be thinking and looking at once you're obviously done with your activity. But it comes down to like, what are you after, right? So for example, if you're looking to take people offline and take them to a URL, I will be probably more looking into things like, total clicks and clicks offsite rather than like, those likes or engagement. It's all down to what are you after and making sure that you actually constantly monitoring those insights to ensure that you're doing the right things to achieve those goals.
Great, thank you.
Anyone else?
I'm just remembering I had a go at live streaming a while ago, not very successfully, and I ended up thinking it's not possible in Australia, but apparently it is. So how do we get into doing a live stream?
Is it on Facebook? Yeah. It should. I mean, like as long as you have a business profile, like a page, you should be able to go live anytime, no problem. There's no limitations to when you can go live, or as long as the profile that you have is a business page, you should be okay to go live anytime. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Cool. Any other questions? I had a quick question. Talk about, discoverability and kind of giving your audience what they need, especially with your storefront, so to speak. When it comes to the individual posts or videos that you're putting up, what is your advice on captions? Should you keep them quite light, or is it a good opportunity to include some product information about what your brand is selling or doing?
Yeah, I think for different posts, I think keeping it short and sweet, I think works really, really well up in the top. Certainly in feed, we found, we did some eye tracking studies, and we saw that the eyes are drawn to, at the beginning, the video or image. Then secondly, it's actually the copy up front. So that's the second most important piece. So what we would advise on is making sure that you have all the core information in the video or image, including your brand, and then reinforcing with the copy. And I think as well, we want to keep it maybe, I'd say maybe two lines. Two lines I think would work quite well.
Usually we go with anything beyond 90 characters when it comes to the body copy is already too long. So just between 75 to 90 characters, that will be like a sweet spot to be in. I would probably say, because otherwise, like if you think about it, when you're going through your own newsfeed and just scroll it down, if you actually have to read too much, it's probably not going to draw your attention as much as like something that is like really catchy and it's just within one line, right? So. Yeah.
Like just a fun fact I think I've thrown around, which is I'd like to share, is like, people are going through feed. I think we say on average about 300 meters of feed every single day. So that people are scrolling through the equivalent of the Statue of Liberty every single day. So it's almost around you need to create that thumb-stopping creative, right? So thinking about the amount of noise going through, it has to be catchy. So really just focusing on the core element of the message or what you're trying to bring across, tied into your business objective, I think will work well.
Cool. Anything else? No? Okay. One more question from the front.
I just wondered, because obviously Facebook and Instagram are changing all the time and introducing new features. What is the difference between stories and reels? And could you potentially use the same content to put out on both, or is that kind of pointless on Instagram?
Yeah, I think what I love about the platform, and we're seeing continuously evolve and really tap into the heart of culture and how people are just utilizing new mediums. And so, as I mentioned, stories was the fastest growing format on our platform. Started in 2016 till it started to build, and everyone has just become accustomed with it. Now we're seeing that with Reels as well, and that's really the birth and build up of short form video. I think. Each format has a proper place. So I think if you're a brand that really wants to lean in and start testing, I think absolutely, Reels is something that you can invest your time in now, getting your presence and personality in on that to really find out what works for you. And because it's not going away, it's just going to continue to build. And what we saw happen with stories over the last 5 years, we're really seeing that movement and that acceleration with Reels as well. So I think it's definitely a good idea to have that top of mind and build in.
Great, thank you.
All right, that's it. Thank you so much, guys, and thank you everyone for joining.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers.